You never know who you're going to run into out here at the Bar 10 Ranch. I ran into a guy here. His name's Tony, and the funny thing is he has a Yamaha Wolverine X2 1000 XTR, and our review was one of his major decisions for buying this vehicle. Small world. It's pretty cool to run into this guy, and we're actually going to take an opportunity and get to see what he's done to his machine. He was telling me all about it. He's got a bunch of stuff done to it, so we're going to check it out. They're out riding right now, him and his brother, and as soon as he gets back, we're going to go ahead and check out his ride.
So this is it. One of the things that I wanted to do is I just think I wanted to fill it in. It just kind of looks plain.
Yep.
The rock sliders, and to me that just kind of looks like the kind of like a side skirt on a car.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And just finishes off.
Yeah.
So I got the Mudbuster flares.
Oh
which,
the fender flares.
Again, it kind of is not too much like I've seen some of the guys in the backwoods, but but that fills it in. Yeah. And I just went with my own little Yamaha logo.
There you go.
Turn signal because we're street legal.
Okay.
And so that's off of the Ryco.
Oh, okay.
The Ryco street legal kit.
All right.
And you know how they come with the 3 LEDs?
Yeah.
And you know how the majority of people put them here?
Yeah, they put them there.
It looks kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And what happened is the LEDs are facing that way.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
So I tucked mine just right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good spot.
It kind of gives it kind of a nice
So you
look.
went with the enclosed cab, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked the doors, but that would have been about $3,500.
They are pricey. So what's the enclosure you got? What is that?
So I got the Yamaha windshield.
Oh, okay. But the side.
This is Yamaha.
Oh, is it Yamaha? Okay.
It's Yamaha, and then the back glass, sliding glass, of course, that's Yamaha.
Yeah.
One of the things. Oh yeah, let me just finish off here. So
yeah, no, you're good.
So there we go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, that makes it street legal then, huh?
And we got the good old ox beams, and that can add to your daytime running light. You know, of course, the good old Yamaha box.
Yep.
I want to get the bed extender because it definitely would have came in handy today because we actually were putting in our gear in the back of the vehicle. Yeah. So back here, I went ahead and did myself a little accessory port in the back here.
Okay, yeah.
So you know, kind of like how trucks are.
Yep.
And
you even got like a mat, like a bed mat.
Got a bed mat.
Okay.
And got my. This is really cool for when you want to pump air in your tires, or if I want to have a ice chest or something like that, I can put it in, just have it, whatever it is.
Yeah, you can just have power for whatever. I see you got the Garmin thing up there. What's that? Is that a GPS or?
Right. So this is the Garmin Tread side-by-side edition.
Oh, okay.
And those are extra. So that's the GPS antenna, and that just has it being that much more accurate to your location. Wow. So of course, when you're on these trails, they come quick. You know, and some of the trails are listed on here, some of them aren't. Yeah. And there's just a dirt road. Yeah. So it's just that much more accurate speed-wise, to see what the top speed is. This one here got up to about 71 miles per hour. Okay. With the cap enclosure and everything. Yeah. Wow. So
that's cooking.
Pretty impressive on that.
So in California, you can make them street legal, huh?
No, California, we cannot be street legal, but we ride outside of California. I've been out to Utah on this, and now Arizona and Utah, they could be street legal.
Oh,
so
okay.
Any state that I go to where they're street legal, we can roll.
Okay, all right.
And of course, I have my Arizona tag. So we're going to do the good old Arizona Peace Trail. So me and my brother, we're going to plan that next 600 miles ride, my friend, and you go through all kind of good spots. Yeah. All right, so this is the inside of my rig, and one thing amongst your review, well, I don't know if your review, but other people's review is they hated that the instrument cluster was in the center. Yep. So I went ahead and found a way of trying to get it here, just like on the RMAX. Yep. And I made my own wiring harness. Okay, and professionally solder it and all that. I used to be NASA certified for soldering. I used to work at NASA.
No kidding. All right.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
As a radar operator.
No kidding.
So I was an aeronautical tracker. Anything NASA sent up in the sky, I tracked it. Wow. With radar. Wow. So we had to be certified to work on the equipment too for soldering. I'm NASA certified to be soldering. I think I can solder myself a wiring harness.
Heck yeah.
So I went ahead and did that, and this has worked out really great having this right here. Yep.
So you just relocated it right up there, like on the wheel on the column.
And then did my own wiring harness, and I was kind of worried about that because I didn't know if there's going to be any kind of voltage drop, because even though that you are soldering, you're still breaking a line or creating a line, and I didn't know if that was going to make the cluster go haywire or wiggy waggy. It didn't.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big risk.
yeah, it is. At first I was trying to see if the factory harness would just reach it, but it was too short.
Oh,
and
man.
I spliced it far back and all that, and it just wasn't working out. So I said, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to wire it in. And then of course I got a tire pressure monitor. This has been really great to have. So I went ahead and wired up another auxiliary port here, that way I can have that here, because the other one's all the way over there, and that's, as a driver, being in command of everything, it's way out of the way. So I rewired another auxiliary port for the tire pressure monitors, and they work very good.
Oh, okay. So are they external sensors?
They're external sensors.
Okay.
And it gives temperature and pressure. If I get a puncture and it starts to drop, it'll start to make a noise. Okay. And that is really golden on the truck, because sometimes you don't know if you have a flat or what's going on, or you have a slight leak. Yeah, for sure. You can be 10 miles down the line, you have a nail in the tire, and it's slowly leaking. Yeah, and you'll know. So before you go down too far and then ruin it. That's right. And this works really good, because a lot of people hate this on the side. But to me, it's cushiony. And it has me nice and snug. And of course, we didn't get the real nice Armax seats, but I believe these are in the base Armax. But I got, foam inserts in here, and they are very comfortable. And floor mats, which makes cleaning a lot better and not beating up the plastic, because it can look like garbage. Oh yeah, for sure. And then you got some fans up top there. So since I got the cab closure, and I live in good old sunny California, I got these from MSC, Team MSC, and these are dual fans with the interior light. So like today, at certain points where I got warm. Oh yeah. You got air. I didn't have to open up my. So works great. I've seen quite a few setups like that, but I've never tried it. And I went in and put insulation up here. This is Dynamat. That's all up here, so it's not the cheap stuff. So these tops get hot. Easy. They're just thin, cheap plastic. A lot of sun coming through. So all that is insulated. Of course, my Garmin thread, which is mounted here. Okay, that's where you mount that. That's where I mount that. And the cool thing about this is this has satellite communications. So like we're out here, right? No cell coverage. No nothing. So I got the plan for $7.99, and you can send text messages. Let family members know, hey, I'm okay. I'm all right. You can receive text messages. I can receive and send text messages right now. And whenever I send out a text message, it sends my GPS location. Just in case I come up missing. Well, hey, Tony was right here on his last message. I think we need to check there. So yeah, that's a really good tool for GPS and for satellite communications. Also has the group ride. So my brother with the YXZ, we're able to communicate with each other. Got the horn on there. You're totally street legal. So on the Ryco turn signal kit, they just come with LEDs. Just bright, cheesy green LEDs. So I sourced these out and got myself actual turn signals with the little arrows. Like in your car. Small little details. But that's all right. Personalized, customized. Right. I'm putting it together, so that's just small little doodads. There you go. Man, you got this thing all done up, dude. So I have the heater. I think you have a heater on yours too, right? What heater did you go with? Yamaha. I went with the Yamaha. Okay, so it's warning me that front right tire is a little low. A little low. Okay. So and you said you were running the Tusk Megabites. So these are the Tusk Megabites, and only thing I can say about this is a great tire. And that's a 30. And that's a 30. I would say that this will even be good for you guys out there where you are, because you guys do a lot of woods. I saw the terrain that you're in, and you have tread like this. Like an all-terrain type tread. Right, but where you're at, it's going to fill in with mud and so forth. This here, these knobbies, they get the job done. I mean, I mean, I can go on and on about the tires, but yeah, the tires are 30s. To me, it just fills in the vehicle perfectly. Looking at the stock vehicle with the 28s, it just looks kind of kind of small,
a little weak. Yeah.
But 32s look too big. It just make it look kind of cheesy. So the balance that I found with it is 30s. It gives me more than enough ground clearance to clear to get where you need to go.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
Anything other than that, I mean, you might want to be in a bigger vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
But as in complementing the capabilities of this vehicle, 30 is on point, and the Tusk Megabites, they get the job done. If you're going to be on the street, then the Terabytes is great. If you're going to be in hard pack like Utah, I would say that those are
and your brother's running the Terabytes.
He's wearing the Terabytes Aramid. So those are the 10-ply Aramid bead to bead 10-ply.
Okay, I got you.
So
well, that's cool. That's awesome.
So I'm running the Inferno heater.
Okay, yeah, I did see the Inferno heater.
So it's right up here, and what I didn't like about it is that it's just wide open. Yeah. So dirt, mud, anything goes up in there. So I had to come up with a way, as in, well, our cars have filtration, right? Mm-hmm. We really need filtration, right? We're out here on this dust, so you turn on the heater, and it's right here in front of this tire, right?
Yeah,
so what is the tire doing?
Oh, yeah, it's just going to cover that thing.
So I put filters here, and I had to figure out a way to have nice filtered air coming in the cab.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, we don't want to be breathing dirt. I mean, it's bad for our lungs, right?
Yeah.
So I use vacuum cleaner round filters, which were the exact same diameter as in the two inlets.
Oh, okay.
And of course I couldn't weld or anything like that, but I used Gorilla tape, the black tape. And that tape is I pressure washed all this has been on here since probably August of last year, and the tape is still on point. But in which case, like today, we used the heater this morning. Clean filter air coming in.
Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. Heck yeah. And so you were saying, well, when I first saw you yesterday, you said that our review kind of helped you make a decision on what to get.
I knew that this is what I wanted to do to a car. So when you're factoring $23,000, right? 24, 25 after taxes. Yep. Then you're talking about $1,300 windshield. You're talking about this, and you're talking about that. These cars start to add up very, very, very fast. Okay, so, and then I was looking at the X2, but I'm like, it's kind of on the.
Oh, the 850.
Yeah, the 850. Yeah. So I had a limited edition R-Max on order. This during time of COVID. Yeah. I had it on order. I was waiting, and it didn't come, and I ended up being laid off from a job. So at that point I canceled the order, and you know, everything kind of got back. So it's time for me to get another side-by-side or another off-road vehicle. Yeah. And then I ran into your interview. I don't know how it came up, but it just came up on there. So I watched it. I'm like, what? They got a 1000 on the X2? Yeah. So your video was the first, and then I went to UTV On Demand and watched their video. And their video was really positive on it. So I was like, So I went to the dealership and took a look at it, and I was going to buy a YXZ originally. Yeah. So my brother got the XTR. I was going to get the blue because I'm just particular to Yamaha blue. Yeah. You know, so I was going to buy a blue Yamaha. They had all three cars set up that way. They had this car, they had the XTR, the one my brother had, and then they had a blue one. Yeah. So it was right there. And the only thing I did while I was looking, and I said, oh, Tony, what kind of riding do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to do adventure riding. Yeah. I'm not trying to run, the dunes, a Baja 500. I don't need a turbo. What I need to do is get to where I need to go reliably and get back home safe. Yep. What could get me there? I don't want to be belts breaking. So that's the reason why I was going to get the YXZ. Yeah. Okay. But Yamaha with the Ultramatic and with that 10-year belt warranty, I mean, I haven't heard too many people have too many problems with them.
Yeah, so for sure. Yeah.
I finally decided, having them all lined up together, one thing I could hope for was that the reviews that I watched was truthful, and you came off as like an average guy, like one of us.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
Like one of us.
That's me.
I'm watching your videos and
everyday Joe.
You know, you out there in your yard, and I'm like, okay, this guy. All right, let me go ahead and go off it, because I didn't test drive it. Right? So you know, Yamaha, they had a little test drive and stuff like that, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of going off of what reviewers were saying at the time. And like I said, you can watch UTV on demand and dirt tracks and all these different people,
Yeah.
which I do. But it was something about your video and your review that just came off like if it was one of my friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, you know, my neighbor or someone.
Yeah.
That
I think it was the
was
mountain
run
goat
away.
mode that made you. He was telling me, he said, dude, he said, mountain goat mode. He said, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw some of the trails that this thing has climbed up, and my brother was telling you, it definitely did get us up
Oh,
there.
yeah, your brother said it made him pucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Underneath here, you know, of course, we have a worn winch.
Yep, yep.
And, you know, my brother, he had the controller with the wire.
Yep, yep, yep. The hub is the way to go.
Right?
Yep.
So
It's amazing how good it works.
So you're familiar with it. So
oh, I got them on all mine.
So what happened was I'm over here like, okay, I guess I'll put it right here. But I'm like, you know, I got enough stuff here, and then there's a bar here.
Yeah.
So it was impossible for me to do that, but I knew that I wanted to have a controller. So I'm like, what other options can I do? And I started digging, and sure enough, I found this Bluetooth one.
Yep.
And I have a tablet in any which case, and then for redundancy, I also have the app on my cell phone.
Yep.
And
and that works. I mean, when you let off, it stops.
Yeah.
When you hit it, it hits, and it works really good.
It does. So, and I think I did a pretty good job of my wiring. Everything looks really. There's extra wires here, but you wouldn't be able to tell. Because it's.
You got to keep it clean, man. That's how I am. Zip tie all my stuff. I put it all together, organize it. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm OCD about keeping all my stuff clean.
It is, and I can show you pictures of when I was doing this, and I'm figuring like, how am I going to get all these wires to be nice? Because the RMAX, you have a lot more hood space to route your wires.
Yeah, you do.
The X2 did not. So I really had to come up with good ways to just have that clean, you know, factory look the way that I wanted to. And it just worked out good.
Heck
now let me just tell you what's going on underneath the car, which you don't see. The frame of the car has been insulated.
Yeah.
So when I first got it, before it got dirty and all that, I totally took it apart. I have a brand new machine.
Yep.
I think I put 150 miles on it just to break it in. If there's any problems, it's gonna go back to the dealership.
Yeah.
I broke it in on the street.
Yeah.
I didn't even take it on the dirt because I didn't want it dirty. I wanted to take everything apart.
That's
everything
what I
was
do.
clean.
That's what I do.
Okay. So underneath here, I insulated it with Dynamat. And also insulated it with the spray, the Dynamat spray. So that is good for when you go on these chop boards. If you go underneath there and you tap on that plate, it has like a ting.
Yeah, it's got a ting. Yeah.
A ting.
Yep.
So it definitely does help quiet it down. And then there was the heat thing. So you have cab heat. So I had to insulate it for, you know, heat from the cab. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, oh man, I'll tell you, you got some time and money into this thing, brother.
Here, I'll show you just a little bit of like the insulation just on the back here. I mean, I had to use different material, gold tape. I mean, but there's really like no heat coming in the cab.
Yeah. Okay. And did that cut down on noise?
So yeah, I did it on heat and noise.
Yeah.
But you can see the little bit of.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. I see up in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So noise. Load this stuff up with sound deadening material, and weight is a concern. So, and already weight is a slight concern.
Yeah.
Because on obstacles, you feel that weight shifting.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So there had to be a balance. There had to be a balance of sound deadening, heat resisting. I mean, when I first put this thing together, I mean, that cab was getting hot.
Yeah.
With the cab kit.
Yeah.
And it took me to take it apart, trying this, taking it apart again. We didn't do that, buying different type of material. So I did a kind of a lot, but to me, it was kind of like a project. I mean, you get what I'm saying. Even though it's a lot more than what any other person would normally do.
Yeah.
But it was just a project for me that I knew that it was mine.
That's
I wanted to customize it to me. And I think that without without the customization that I did, that I personally did, I think that it made me love it even more because I'm more closer to it. Because you know, it took me 3 months to put this together between working and going out into the garage, staying up late hours because it's too hot during the day, so I have to do it at night. So I'm up until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then this thing is taken all apart. So I'm like, wow, like did I bite off more than I could chew? And then you run into issues. Well, this didn't work, or this is the problem. And you know, it was a a labor of love, so to say. But I think at the end of the day, you worry about, did I do a good job? Right. So that's when, in our first trip, I'm rushing to put this thing together, and we're due to head out to Utah to do the Barrows and head out to Mount Carmel and all that, you know. And you know, I'm like, okay, did I have enough time to test it? I only took it out for a few days. But the thing is each thing that I did, I made sure that I did it right the first time, as in the electrical and the wiring. So it's one of those things you just hope that it lives up to your expectations. For sure. You know, you're talking about a lot of money. So, you know, I paid out the door. I still got a good deal. I paid $20,000 for it out the door.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good deal.
And I probably got about over $3,500 to $4,000 worth of accessories. So I live in California. Of course, we're going to do the Arizona Peace Trail. So we're coming out here any which case, and according to what people say, in order for you to go to Turweep, these have to be street legal. Okay. And they want you to have that sticker. So the ranger came right out there and welcomed us, and he was peeking. He was peeking. Yeah, he wasn't like just coming out there. He said, hey, welcome. No, he's saying, okay, what you boys legal? Yeah. So he was looking for a plate, and he even made us toot our horn. So, okay, wow. So yeah, we going through all the steps. All right. Going through all the steps. Sweet. What's your last name? Williams. Tony Williams? Anthony Williams. But Anthony? Well, we'll go with Tony. To you. Tony, brother. Man, it was a pleasure meeting you here at the bartend in the middle of nowhere. Oh, man, this has been a great trip. The place is great. I mean, people are great here. And it's cool that you came out here, man. I mean, this is just a good trip altogether. You know, you never know who you're going to run into. You don't. I mean, even if people aren't doing YouTube videos or whatever, I mean, there's just a great group of people out there. Yeah, and it's an off-road community, and everybody's got the same, we all are the same. We think the same. We start talking about what we've done to our vehicles and where we've been, and you know, it's cool to have that community and that camaraderie, and it's just something different, you know. No, it is. It really is. And like I said, I mean, to come out here and to enjoy your vehicle, to enjoy the outdoors, enjoy family, meet new friends. I mean, it just doesn't get better. That's why we're here, man. Yeah. That's why we're here. So.